Why is Russia suddenly interested in Somaliland's port? Hello and welcome, this is Analytica Today. A forgotten port becomes a battlefield, not with bombs, but with diplomatic letters, covert visits, and power plays. Russia eyes Berbera. The US is undecided between Mogadishu and Hargeisa. The people of Somalia are caught in between. In the Horn of Africa, sovereignty is becoming a bargaining chip again, and global powers are carving up influence just like they did in Ukraine, Syria, and Libya. Hi, I'm Jalini Tesfaye, and this is Analytica Today. It is 2025. Russia is reportedly knocking on Somaliland's door, this time for a return to Berbera, a port it once used as a Soviet naval base. And just a month before, Somalia's president reportedly sent a letter offering a sovereignty for security deal to the US, a desperate move in a growing great power game. Now, suddenly, this fragile region is no longer just about local tensions. It is about Moscow and Washington, red lines and port deals, proxies and pawns. So, how did Somalia and Somaliland become the newest flashpoint in this global chessboard? And why does this matter not just for the Horn, but for all of Africa? Let's break this down. Last week, an unverified letter surfaced online, allegedly from Russia's ambassador to Djibouti and Somalia. The letter outlined plans for senior Russian diplomats to visit Somaliland and access Berbera's port for economic and humanitarian cooperation. If true, this would mark a full-circle return for Moscow. In the 1970s and 80s, the Soviet Union used Berbera as a naval base before Somalia switched sides and aligned with the US, a Cold War betrayal that left Somalia a broken state for the last 3 decades. Fast forward to today, the UAE is already developing Berbera through DP World. Israel and the US have shown interest, and Ethiopia has signed a memorandum of understanding for a port deal in exchange for recognition. Now Russia wants in, and this isn't random. Across Africa, Russia is moving fast. In Sudan, it is seeking port access on the Red Sea. In the Sahel, Russia-backed governments have booted out the French and US forces only to invite in Wagner operatives. In April 2025, the DRC reportedly offered the US a security for minerals deal, a blow to China, which controls 75% of the mining in DRC, the world's mineral-richest nation. And in March 2025, Somalia's own president is said to have offered a security for sovereignty agreement to Washington, essentially trading national identity for protection. And here's the question nobody is asking. If Russia can take a chunk of Ukraine and sit at a negotiation table with the US without Ukraine present, if the US can ask for Greenland, a European territory, a protectorate of Denmark, which is a NATO member, then who's really going to stop them from carving out fragile states like Somalia? This is not the first time Somalia has been caught between these two empires. In the Cold War, Somalia was first a Soviet ally. Moscow poured in weapons, training, and cash. But when Somalia clashed with Ethiopia in the Ogaden War of 1977, it flipped sides, becoming a US ally practically overnight. The result? Somalia became a frontline state, militarized, destabilized, and then abandoned. By the early 1990s, its government had collapsed, leading to decades of warlords, famine, and chaos. Now, history is rhyming. Somalia, still fragile, still rebuilding, is once again being eyed for strategic access. Only this time, the competition isn't just Cold War, déjà vu. It's multipolar and messy. Russia wants ports. The US wants to contain Russia and China. The UAE wants economic corridors, and Ethiopia wants sea access, possibly through Somaliland. Caught in this tug-of-war are millions of ordinary Somalis and Somalilanders, and no one is asking them what they want. Let's be honest. Right now, Somalia, Somaliland, and the broader Horn are not fully in control of their future. Superpowers are dictating terms from thousands of miles away, just like they did in Ukraine, where Washington and Moscow debate outcomes without Kyiv in the room. In the Sahel, Russia scores points, while US generals warn of unfriendly governments in Burkina Faso. In the Congo, it's about rare earths. In Sudan, it's about sea lanes. And now, in Somaliland, it is Berbera, a gateway to the Red Sea, Suez Canal, and the entire global economy. This region should be negotiating trade routes, peace deals, and regional integration. Instead, it is becoming a chessboard. The stakes? If these rivalries escalate unchecked, the Horn of Africa could face the same fate as Libya, Syria, or Yemen, where foreign interests fuel endless conflict and local voices are silenced. And here's the proof. In just the last year, 5 separate foreign interests have made moves in this fragile region. But now one of them is focused on long-term peace building. They want influence, access, and leverage. That is the game. And right now, Somalia and Somaliland are pieces, not players. So, let's get back to that one sentence at the beginning. It seems the fate of Somalia, Somaliland, and even the whole of East Africa is in the hands of superpowers carving up the world. And the sad part, that's not hyperbole, that's reality. The Horn of Africa is being shaped not just by its own people, but by global titans chasing ports, influence, and dominance. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Dialogue, diplomacy, and regional cooperation can flip the script, but only if African voices are united without apology. I'm Jalani Tasfai, and this is Analytica Daily. If you believe this story matters, hit subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share this with someone who still thinks the Cold War ended. See you next time.